Hi there, Sean Polston with Keller Williams Southern Arizona and TucsonShortSaleNegotiator.com. Wanted to talk to you about short sale pros and cons versus short sale versus foreclosure versus deed in lieu of foreclosure. There's all kinds of little ins and outs to all of these things. I'm going to try to keep it brief and give you just kind of a general overview of it. And if you have more questions, I can certainly get into a more detailed conversation with you about it anytime you want to contact me. Short sale, someone has a house that's underwater, they need to get rid of the house. It might be they're moving, death, divorce, job loss. Could be they've just made a business decision that they want to get away from this mortgage and this property, and they need to get rid of it somehow. Your basic options are rent the property out to somebody if you don't want to get rid of it. In a lot of cases, we see in most cases, that's a bad situation because the borrowers are having to come up with $500, $600, $700, $800 above and beyond what they're getting in rental income to subsidize it. So in a lot of cases, renting it's not a good option for a lot of the people we talk to, or they just simply don't want to do that, even if they can. There's short sale where we go to your lender and negotiate a settlement of the account, allow the property to be sold, settle the mortgage for less than what's owed. There's also a couple other options, which deed in lieu of foreclosure, where you basically deed the property back to the lender. In a lot of cases, there are a lot of pitfalls with this maneuver as well. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people who want to go down this route, and they end up with a foreclosure rather than a deed in lieu of foreclosure, because they go through the deed in lieu of foreclosure process, which is really similar to qualifying for a short sale, and then some document gets mishandled or something doesn't make it to the bank because they're handling it themselves in almost all cases with the lender. The next thing you know, the property gets foreclosed on by the lender versus doing a deed in lieu of foreclosure. I've also heard reports that borrowers do deed in lieu of foreclosure. A year later, they go to look at their credit report, and here on their credit report is foreclosure. A lot of cases, the lenders are, maybe not in a lot, but a number of cases that I've heard of, the lenders are still marking the credit report as having a foreclosure, even though what the borrower did was a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Very important to watch out for that and speak if you are in the process or considering doing a deed in lieu of foreclosure. It's very, very important to watch that in your agreement with your lender. Get something in writing about how they are going to report this to your credit report. Don't leave that detail out, because if you do a deed in lieu of foreclosure to avoid foreclosure and they mark it as a foreclosure, you really didn't avoid foreclosure. You end up with it on your credit report anyway. And what is in most cases the worst option is foreclosure. Unfortunately, one of the things I've seen a number of times, and it's okay if you want to go this route. I feel no sympathy for these lenders. So if that's ultimately the route you decide you want to go, I don't feel any sympathy for the lender who made you the loan. But in a lot of cases, what I've seen happen is I'll have people call me up and go, Sean, I want to do a short sale. I walked away from this property a year ago, and the lender has not foreclosed, and they don't seem to want to foreclose on the property. I've got this vacant house sitting there that's still in my name. There's no insurance on it. I have a liability out there, and I just want to get rid of this. One of the common misconceptions with hey, I'm going to let it go to foreclosure is how long that's going to take. I've seen situations where people haven't paid on a mortgage in nearly 3 years, and the lender did not even begin the foreclosure process. Here's the thing, if you're ready to walk away from that property, exploring short sale and attempting short sale, you got, in my humble opinion, and I'd love for somebody to tell me different, you got nothing to lose. If you're ready to walk away from that property, get out of it, going to the lender and trying to negotiate a settlement, if the lender's not willing to do or give you an agreement that is advantageous to both of you, you and the lender, that you're both saying, yeah, okay, let's do this, you don't have to. And the foreclosure process is still running. So, attempting short sale does not take foreclosure or deed in lieu of foreclosure off the table. In a lot of cases, it's going to be a swifter, quicker process than just allowing the home to go to foreclosure. Especially if you contact us right when you make that decision, hey, I'm done with this house. You give it to us. We'll work with your lender for you. We'll make the process as painless as we possibly can for you. And if they won't give you an agreement, or we can't negotiate an agreement that's acceptable to you, you don't have to do it. You can proceed down the other route of just walking away from the property if that's what you choose to do. And we understand that. We understand that this is a negotiation with the lender, and if the lender's not willing to give us a good enough deal, I mean, I've had situations where I've told people I wouldn't do this if I were you, and we go back and negotiate further with the lender. So, just wanted to give you a little bit of the pros and cons about foreclosure, deed in lieu of foreclosure, and short sale. And again, the one of the biggest myths I run into is there's this idea out there that somehow you have to make a decision between short sale or foreclosure. And I just want to make sure you're aware that attempting short sale to try and settle this debt, it's going to be a lot better for your credit report. You're going to be able to qualify for a new mortgage sooner versus rather than later. Going this route and attempting the short sale route does not take the foreclosure route off the table. So I know you have other questions. Please look at our other videos on the website. Pick up the phone and give us a call. Fill out our short sale request form, and we'll be in touch soon.